Do you want to know the secret to the true and lasting success? Do you desire to move from nothingness to greatness? Then, Great Mind is a must-watch program for you.
Well, people see people making quick money fraudulently, and they're celebrating the quick money. The negative values are celebrated.
Great Mind is now back on NTO Shodo with entertainment and educative segments coupled with tips to show you how to take care of yourself to live longer and make an indelible mark on the sands of time. Join me, Bola Olayode, on the program every Saturday at 7:05 in the evening. Stay with us. You're welcome to another edition of that program, The Great Mind, the program that reveals the secrets to the true and lasting success. I'm Bola Olayode, your anchor on the program. On this episode of the program, the personality we are featuring is Justice Samuel Omotunde Ilori, the former Chief Judge of Lagos State. Justice Samuel Omotunde Ilori is an indigene of Osun State. The former Chief Judge of Lagos State, Justice Samuel Omotunde Ilori, was born in this house at Tarapates Ilori's compound in Omofe, Ilesha on January 5, 1934, to Mrs. Comfort Ilori and the Chief James Jekete Ilori. Justice Samuel Omotunde Ilori, who is now the chairman of the Association of Private Refinery Owners in Nigeria, started his elementary education at the Holy Trinity Primary School, Omofe.
My father became the High Chief Arapati of Ilesha when I was still very young. I think she ascended the chieftaincy around 1945. So that is where I was during my primary school days and things. But I was still attending Omofe School. In Omofe School, I took part in all sorts of activities. In sports in particular, I was the captain of Ogudengwe House in our sports thing, and I later became the senior prefect of the school. So when I left in 1950, I did not go to a secondary school. Yes, I got admission into Edu College in Benin City, but at that time Benin was such a far away place from Ilesha, and my father wouldn't allow it because it had a sad experience with one of my brothers, his eldest son, who went to school at a far place and died eventually. So when I took the exam and passed, they said, no, you are not going to Edo. Unfortunately, I didn't sit for the Ilesha Grammar School thing. You know, children wanting adventure, so I wanted to go somewhere else. So, as a result, I had to start teaching. In those days, they call us pupil teachers. And I started teaching in 1951 as a pupil teacher. The second year of my teaching, I think I passed an exam to the Jesha Divisional Teacher Training College. You see, at that time, the government was introducing the free primary school education under our great leader, Chief Obayofemi Awolowo, was under his policy. So they were to have free primary school education. So I went to the teacher training college 1953 and 1954. After that, I was posted to another village, Ikwanda,
Also in Ilesha land.
Of course, Ikwanda is on the way to Ibokun. It's, about 9 miles away from Ilesha. So I was the pioneer teacher at Ikwanda, and there were only 2 of us as teachers there as well. Eventually, we had about 2 more teachers. I was the headmaster, true and proper village headmaster.
Having been a pupil teacher for some time, Justice Omotunde Ilori proceeded to United Kingdom to further his education.
As luck will have it, one Saturday I came home to our house at Omofe, and I met somebody sitting in the house right opposite my father's house. And I went there and challenged him. "You are a stranger in this place, man. What do you want?" He said, "How can you call me a stranger in my father's house? The owner of this house is my own father." I said, "Is that right?" Then I said, "Baba, this man says it's your son." No. He said, "Yes, you know." You see, we became friends, and we started talking. He said he was going to England, and he just came home to receive his father's blessing. I said, "Oh, you must have had a fantastically good education." He said, "No, I had teacher's training, grade 3 teacher." I said, "I'm grade 3 teacher as well." He said, "Yes, that's what I have." I said, "And how can you be going to England?" He said, "Well, they were looking for mentors. So if you want to be a mental nurse, then they will allow you to go there and be a mental nurse, and you study it and get qualified and things." I said, "Well, I don't mind going." "Oh," he said, "Yes, I can arrange it for you." Law was my ambition, but I had to use the nursing thing as a stepping stone to get there. So I went for the nursing. In fact, I started sending a bit of money home to my mom for the education of my sister, and to look after herself, and to give part to my 2 uncles who are my benefactor. I also immediately enrolled in 1957 at the Gloucester Technical College for my GC ordinary level and GC advanced level. I sat for my GC ordinary level in June 1958, and I made all the papers. I decided to go in for the advanced level in September. So when I told my head of department, very good pass at the ordinary level, when I now told my head of department, Mr. Toza, that I wanted to take the advanced level, he said, no. You've done the ordinary level in 1 year. You want to go and do the advanced level? He said, "No, you must spend at least 18 months before we allow you." He said, "You can't do it." I said, "Well, I will do it." Then I enrolled as an external student for the advanced level. I took my advanced level papers. The result came out in September, and I cleared the 3 papers. So I now went to Mr. Toza. I said, "I passed my advanced level." He said, "You don't mean it. This is the result. High grade result." He said, "I can't believe this." I said, "Wait a minute. The registrar of the University of Leeds is my classmate. I will tell him about this amazing student we have here and see whether he can admit you to his university." So he telephoned I think it was Dr. Luch. He telephoned him. He said, is the boy like that? Tell him to come. I wanted to read economics. So I didn't apply
For law?
for any admission,
Okay,
except what my head of department arranged for me. So I went to Leeds. I saw the registrar, and at that time I had no idea who was going to pay for my university education, none whatsoever. But I knew I was going inside the university. So when I saw Mr. Tuza, he said, "You want to do economics?" I said, "Yes, okay." He sent me to Professor Brown, who was the dean of economics at that time. And Professor Brown said, "Well, look, until we finish our own admission, if there's any space of anybody who got admission and couldn't come, then I will give you a place."
Yeah, that's in economics.
That is the economics thing.
Okay, sir.
Then I will give you a place. In the meantime, I found myself a job in Tongue Hill Lane Hospital, another hospital. I was already an experienced nurse anyway. I found myself a job in that hospital, and I made friends. And there was a particular lady, Joe Creed, and her fiance at that time, Michael. We became very close friends. They attended what they call Quaker church. So I started going to church with them. So at that time, Joe Creed took me to a gentleman who turned out to be the dean of the Faculty of Law, Professor James. And Joe Creed said, "Oh, Prof, meet one of your undergraduates. He's from Nigeria. He's an African. He's reading economics." I said, "No, Joe, don't jump the gun. I'm not an undergraduate yet." I went to see the professor. This is what he told me. Oh, and James said, "And you are a Quaker?" He said, "That lighter brown, I know he will say a thing like that." He said, "Why don't you read law? I'm the dean of Faculty of Law." Oh, I said, "Law? Yes, I will." He said, "See me in my office tomorrow." That is how I became a law student.
Justice Somotunde Ilori came back to Nigeria in 1964 and enrolled in the law school. Since he has started law practicing, the journey has been rapid and blemish-free. In 1965, he got the appointment with the Federal Ministry of Justice as a state counsel. He became the Director of Public Prosecutions in Lagos State in 1978. In 1979, he rose to become a Solicitor General and Permanent Secretary. A year later, he got an appointment as a High Court Judge. 16 years after, he was appointed the Lagos State Chief Judge. Justice Somotunde Ilori recounts his experience as a young lawyer.
As a newly qualified lawyer, getting brief was not that easy. You know, I'll tell you of one incident. One lady came from Iboku to me. He wanted to buy a plot at land at Ikeja and brought her money, and I think about 40 pounds at that time. So I said, "Well, we'll have to do the paperwork, investigate the ownership of this land and things like that." He said, "I can't wait. You keep the money, do all the investigation, buy the land for me. I will come back." As at that time, I hadn't a kobo with me. And a good friend of mine was staying with me at that time. I said, "All right, okay, let's eat now." He said, "This is another person." God will provide. So the first thing we did was to buy a chicken. and had pounded yam made for us. Suddenly the woman came and said, I've made up my mind, I don't want to buy that land anymore. So I just want for my money. Oh, I said, Mama, you want your money, eh? You see, by government law, you don't keep your client's money in your pocket. It's in the bank. And I have to give the bank notice before I can withdraw it. As you know, this is Saturday. Would you wait until I give the bank notice and I withdraw the money? He said, you want me to stay in Lagos? He said, I'll go back. I'll come back to get it. I said, very well, by the time you come back. That Sunday evening, somebody came to me and said, I want the lawyer in this house. I said, yes, here I am. Said, yes, I have a case with Dunlop Industries at High Court Ikeja, and I want a lawyer to go with me. Oh, I said, you see, I'm a Christian. I don't take cases on Sundays, sorry. My friend said, are you out of your mind? You've spent £2 from Mama's money. £2 you've already spent. And they said, I said, no, you know, I don't work on Sundays, you know. That man said, I said, well, all right. You know, if you want me to abandon my principle, I will just this one so. I said, but the problem I have is that I have a case in Lagos. I have to pay another lawyer to go to that case. If you want me to go for you, you have to pay for me to pay that other lawyer. He said, how much? I said, £2. That is how much I spent from Mama's money. So he did his hand to his pocket, and no, I said 2 guineas. We charged guineas in those days. So, and gave me £2 and 2 shillings. I said, okay, that is for the lawyer who's going to do my case in Lagos. Your own case, you will have to pay me 5 guineas to go there. He said, 5 guineas is too much. I came here only with 5 guineas. You've taken 2 guineas already. I said, okay, give me the remaining 3 guineas. I'll manage that. So he gave me the remaining 3 guineas. And I said, okay. I took his brief. I said, go. Of course, as soon as he left, I started preparing. I drafted an affidavit, a counter affidavit to the affidavit he brought to me. I got somebody to type it for me overnight. First thing in the morning, I went to Ikeja High Court. I filed it, and before the court sat, I served the other lawyer with that affidavit. So, of course, we argued the case. On that motion, I won, and the man was very happy. He said, you wanted 5 guineas, I will now give you 5 guineas. Forget the first 5 guineas. So he gave me 5 guineas. And I said, my friend, you say you want to leave, you can now. He said, go where? With that amount of money in your pocket. I'm not going anywhere. I said, well, the first thing is, let's go and meet that mama. So I went to that mama. I said, well, you see, if I ask you to wait until the bank pays that money, it will take a long time. I don't want you to be going from Elisha to Lagos all the time. Out of my own personal money, I'll give you your money. I said, Okomi, you will do that for me? I said, I'll do it. Nothing to worry. So I brought out her 38 pounds, put my own 2 pounds on it. And he said, Okomi, Ushiri, thank you very much. And she went in. So we were saved. That was the beauty of legal practice.
Justice Samuel Omotunde Ilori is a man fully committed to service to humanity. He has touched the lives of so many people. In recognition of his contributions to the development of the society, he was honored by the Osun State government in the year 2007 with the State Award of Excellence. Retired but actively robust in intellect, since his retirement, Justice Ilori has been carrying out difficult consultancy services. Justice Samuel Omotunde Ilori is the Chairman Association of Retired Judicial Officials in Lagos State. Members Nigeria Society for International Law. He is a member of Nigeria Society of Criminology, member Frontlines Club. He was the chairman Lagos State Marriage Guidance Council between 1990 and 1999. With all these activities, Justice Samuel Motunde Ilori is still committed to the court service. This is attested to by Bishop Samuel Adebayo Suwali of Anglican Diocese, Ilesha.
The Honorable Justice Ilori is one of the people we can trust anytime, any day, any moment for contributing to the development of our diocese and to the progress of the diocese.